Hello tennis guys and welcome to my channel. So it's the time to measure the Wilson RF 0.1, all of the three rackets in the series on my scale, balance board and swing weight machine to find out whether the quality control for these, I would say right now, the most expensive tennis rackets on the market is really well made. So guys, stay tuned for more.
Game 11. New ball space.
Alright, so here we go. Wilson RF 0.1 series, a very controversial series that I was talking about for a couple of weeks now, and man, I love those rackets. I really found the secret, the beauty in these rackets, although I'm not the biggest fan of the design and of the overall, let's say, aesthetics. I think it could have been a little bit better, more refined, let's say more detailed in some of the cosmetics that is there, but overall the playability with these rackets very difficult from the start. But as you move on, as you give them more time, then they will reward you with a very delicate feel, fantastic control, fantastic precision. But let's leave that on the full, final, complete, ultimate review that I'm working on. So it's time to measure those Roger Federer's puppies, and I will start with the Future, with the lightest one. So this is the Future racket that, by the way, all of these three rackets are strung with a Luxilon LU power 1.25, and they have same head size, so there shouldn't be very much big difference in the, let's say, in the weight of the string. So we can always count that, almost always, that the strings are around 16 gram in this type of head. So 16 gram we should add to the overall weight of the frame. And of course I have no overgrips, I removed the overgrips. I also removed these numbers. So there were these numbers with, from Wilson, because when they send me the racket, they send me with these numbers, they mark the rackets because there is a limited number of those rackets, so they can really have the info about where the rackets are, who has the rackets. So I also remove these numbers, which can be, maybe it's just thin paper, just 1 gram, maybe 1-2 gram, but still I want to have it as precise as possible. So let's weight the Future racket. So I will put it on the scale. Okay, I think it looks good. 298.5. That's all right. 298.5. It's it's about 18 gram of the string, let's say. Yeah, probably I would say it's about 2.5 gram heavier than it should be. So this is, let's say, within the accepted tolerance. Now the balance. Without strings is 320, with strings should be 330. Be 330, so let's position it towards the 330. It's less, it's less, it's less, it's less, it's less. It's less, it's less, it's moving. Now back, just a little bit. So this is interesting. This actually looks like 324. 324, I would say. 324. So 324 millimeters. So around, let's say, 6 millimeters more to the hand. Maybe that's why the racket feels really so lightweight, and it's great. Great stick for coaching, just easy hitting for the juniors. Let's measure the swing weight, which, by the way, according to Tennis Warehouse, it should be strong 301, so very low swing weight. Let's look at the machine, whether it is calibrated. It should say 200. It should say 200 there. 200. Everything's okay, guys. Perfectly calibrated $1,200 machine. Let's go for it. So my guess is, yeah, it can be 300 or even less, because it is really lightweight. During my playtest I felt like the racket swings super fast, but it is actually quite greatly stable, very competitive. And what do we have? 289, just 289. Wow, just 289. Okay, 289. That's a quite big difference, guys. So as you can see, when we go backwards, 6 millimeters more balance to the hand. So there is the 6 millimeters taken away from the head, and this translates into a 12-point lower swing weight compared to Tennis Warehouse, and that's a lot. So this is a great stick to a further customization. So if you just want to beef the racket just a little bit to make it more stable, with more plow through, more power, it is a great platform racket. But I need to be honest with you, I like it in a stock form for easy, really easy coaching, feeding of the ball. My arm gets never tired. I still have the precision, the control, and I can swing the racket as fast as possible, and I can even play with the juniors or lower, let's say intermediate amateurs. I can play nice rallies whatsoever. It's just a perfect racket for my, let's say, way of coaching, way of playing. So I can just buy this one to coach, and then the heavier 300 gram version for matches, for the real competitive matches. And let's jump to the 300, oh no, that's the 320, 300 gram version, my favorite one of all of these three rackets. Absolutely fantastic. It has everything what I want: maneuverability, precision, control, stability, comfort, feel, absolutely fantastic feel, touch. And the only the only stroke I a little bit fight with is the double-handed backhand. I think like this racket is really, or this series is really made for Roger, for the one-handed backhand with the full swing. Like you can swing like this. With double-handed backhand you are kind of limited in the swing. The swing is always kind of shorter. It's more, let's say, powerful because you have both hands, and you kind of force the racket with the second hand, so you kind of push the racket a little bit in this direct sense. But with the one-handed backhand you can really let it fly, and that's where the racket shines. So now we will measure the standard version, the 300 gram version. So with strings it could be, or it should be, around 316-17. Oh, it's 320.6. 320.6. So a little bit heavier. Let's say 3-4 gram heavier. Let's make a photo. Now the balance. The balance is nice, 315. So for a 300 gram racket, it is something also fresh, new, because most of the 300 gram rackets have balance of 320 or even 325, so more to the head. but this is perfect for this control-oriented stick. You will absolutely love how easy it is to swing with this racket. So 315 unstrung, 325 strung. Let's measure it. Okay, I've already surpassed the 325, but I need to come back, and this looks great. This looks like a 324 once again. I would say, no, let's give it a 325 because it is really spot on. 325, you will see that on the photo. So 325, a perfect balance. So we have 320.6 weight, so it's just a little bit heavier, but the balance is perfect. Now, what will be the swing weight? So according to Tennis Warehouse, it should be 319. Do I really feel that? I rather feel something around 315, I would say. It's really easy to swing with this racket. But 315, 319, that's exactly in my let's say realm of the rackets I want to hit with. So let's measure it. 311, so it's even less. 311, and that's really interesting now. So someone explained me that the racket is heavier, I would say around 3 grams heavier than it should be, but the balance is exactly the same, or exactly how it should be. So a heavier racket with a perfect balance, and the swing weight is 8 points lower. What does it mean? Probably Tennis Warehouse had batch of these rackets that were balanced a little bit more into the head, right? That's it. I'm just making some conclusion. So 311, 8 points lower. 311 for such a capable racket. It is outstanding, and you can further customize the stick to beef it up a little bit. Let's say to 320, 325. No problem whatsoever. Fantastic. Now, the Pro version, which I'm not a particular fan of because it is for my taste too heavy, and the balance is the same like with the 300 gram version. It means that you literally get 20 extra gram on the same type of frame like with the 300 gram version, let's say. So it's just a heavier racket, but the balance, in my opinion, should have been done a little bit lower, more into the head, into the hand, let's say 310, to make it the same, with the same type of maneuverability like with the lighter versions. That didn't happen, and that's why the Pro version is, for my taste, just too, let's say, heavy for the game, but for my game. But you know, it has been made for Roger Federer. The Pro version is really made for Roger Federer. That's the racket he would love to use when he was still on tour. So do I have a problem with it? No, I'm the problem. So, you know, I'm just saying what I like and what I don't like. So 320 unstrung with strings, it should be around 336 or 337, and what I'm seeing right now is 336.99, 337. That's perfect. You know, the RF is there, perfect. So 336 point, there is now 95. So when I move the table, it a little bit changes the weight, but there is once again this 336.95. Awesome, guys, awesome. So the balance, 315 unstrung, 325 strung. Of course, it depends also what type of string you will use, but this is the recommended string from Wilson. The LAU Power from Luxelon is the recommended string, and it is great. Just don't string it too tight. If you string it too tight, then the racket will be too stiff, and the power will not be there really, because this one, the Pro version, is actually stiffer than the lighter versions. The RA is 67 compared to the 64 for the two lighter versions, so that's a big difference. Now, the strand balance looks like a little bit over 325. I would say it's 320. I give it 327. 327. So just 2 millimeters more. God damn it. 327. 7. Just 2 millimeters more into the head. Now, the swing weight. According to Tennis Warehouse, the swing weight is 331. Do I feel that? Yeah, I feel around 330, definitely. Definitely 330. 333, maybe. So my guess is 333, because the balance is a little bit more into the head. Other than that, the weight is perfect. So, yep, it's good. Let's do this. 333, my guess, Tennis Warehouse measured 331. Ooh, 328, okay. 328, still a really nice swing weight. So this one is actually lower on the swing weight. So, actually all of the three rackets are lower on the swing weight compared to the Tennis Warehouse. So let's sum it up. I would say that most of the parameters are really good. With the 280 gram Future racket, we have around 2 gram plus, 2 gram more on the racket, let's say. The balance is -6 millimeters. You know, this is a quite big difference in the balance, and that's why the swing weight is 289 compared to the Tennis Warehouse 301. That's a -12 points, a big difference. Am I happy with that result for the Future racket? Probably not, but it's a 280 gram racket. It should feel light, it should feel fast. People who will use the 280 gram racket, they will kind of benefit more from the easiness, and still it is way more capable. The racket is way more capable than the numbers show. So during the play, during trainings, I felt like the racket actually plays like other, let's say, 290 gram rackets or 295 gram rackets. Very, very solid despite the fact it is so light. So numbers are one thing, the reality is another thing. So let's move to the 300 gram version. So the 300 gram version has, I would say, extra 3 plus 3 gram on the frame of the weight. Then the balance is actually perfect, 325 with strings, but the swing weight somehow is lower compared to the Tennis Warehouse. It is -8 points. Interesting. So what do I get out of this? I'm not sure whether Tennis Warehouse once again had batch of rackets that are just a little bit heavier, overall more head heavy. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe they put there a different type of string. I have the 1.25 millimeters, maybe they put there 1.3 millimeters. That can change the swing weight. I don't think so it will change that much, but few points here and there from the different string, it's definitely possible. Is there a problem with the 300 gram version? I would say no. Only the swing weight is a little bit 8 points lower. But once again, I like that. I benefit from the fast swinging with the racket, and still the stability is above. It's really above average. So let's say 7 out of 10 stability for this racket, and that's what I need. I don't need a really massively super stable racket. I rather have the feel, touch, the delicate feedback from the racket than something that is rather super stiff, yet not as kind of responsive in the way I want. So now the Pro version. So the Pro version has the best weight. It's perfect. It's 336.9. So it's really as you would expect with the strings. The balance, on the other hand, is 327. So let's say just 2 millimeters more to the head. You would say, okay, so it should have now the swing weight a little bit higher than the Tennis Warehouse. No, it's 3 points lower. So minus 3 points. Tennis Warehouse 331. I measured 328. Is it a big deal? Not at all. You can customize the racket. You can customize all of these sticks really easily, and you can make out of these rackets a completely different or a more stable and more powerful rackets than they are in the stock form. But overall, I like them in the stock form, and that concludes my quality control test of these rackets. Nothing really spectacular. Some, let's say, a little bit disappointments from the swing weight part, but we don't know what Tennis Warehouse is really doing when they are measuring the swing weight. It feels most of the times that their swing weight is, I would say in 80% of the cases, their swing weight, what they show on their website, is in most of the cases, when I compare it to my numbers, higher than what I measure. So yeah, that's how it is. Thank you guys for watching, and as always, if you want to support my channel, if you like this type of video, just leave me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and you can support my channel greatly by doing 4 things. You can become a member of my channel. Just click the join button under the video, then you can click the super thanks button to support my channel, then there is the buy me a coffee platform and a PayPal option, and all of these options give you the opportunity to ask me a question. So you donate me something, and as a bonus you can even ask me a question, and it is guaranteed I will answer the question as fast as I can and as best as I can. So guys, that's the cooperation I would like to have with you, and as always, thank you so much for watching, and enjoy tennis, play tennis every time, every day, and don't forget to enjoy the maneuverability. Bye guys. I need Rogers loading phase, and then is it correct? Or am I doing it wrong? I don't know. Love them.
You can't be serious, man. You cannot be serious! That ball was on the line!